Yeah. So we'll see.
Well, I don't have a space for him right now, so
You don't have an 8 o'clock.
no. I mean, so I filled
Gotta
in.
get it in. So if I try to get it in,
So
who's
if you
trying to
call me and
squeeze
tell
it?
me if we got to squeeze somebody in, then let's try and put them in. Actually, if you can at 8:30. I need to get out of here early today,
Mm-hmm.
because I am speaking at the realtors. So what I want to do is because today is the day I would see Wayne
Mm-hmm.
for the weekend. I want to see if we can do a tribute to him from 8:45 to 9.
I already asked. That's why I sent you all that thing yesterday, day before. Todd said no more than 5 minutes.
Okay, so then we may have to let Todd take the last break
Okay.
because I'm gonna probably break after. I need to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, just let Todd run it.
okay,
Yeah, no big deal. He can do the last.
15
Yeah, that's
minutes.
no big deal for him. He should be able to carry it. He needs to do it because what are sometimes that you, hey Nat, what are sometimes you just can't come in. You know what I mean? He should be learn. He has to carry it somehow.
Okay.
So if you give him this last 15 minutes, that's fine.
Edit, 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 edit. What's up, y'all? Take a moment. Share the broadcast.
No official in the city of Chicago,
Dang.
elected or appointed, should ever profit from his office.
Hey, 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 hey.
The requirement that people must give more to access basic city services must end. And it will.
Okay, okay, okay. Turn it down.
Which part you want?
Turn it down.
Do you like it when?
I can't concentrate.
To end the
Seriously.
Is it too loud for you?
Yes, please.
Turn it down some. Yeah, you said turn it down.
Yeah, I need that. Get the stars too. Get the stars.
I don't know what the stars is.
When she described what the stars were going to be, Detroit.
She said when she described
The 4 stars in the flag?
I think what was really strong was you talked about the audience.
Okay, we could do that.
Do that one. Yeah.
The Stevenson 50 already from my three.
Los Angeles. Houston.
We're seeing light drizzle across the city under cloudy skies this morning. Temperatures in the 40s expected to come back in the low 50s once again. Currently it's 47 in Czech, 47 in Midway, and 47 degrees here at the top of Chicago. They have to look at traffic weather now. I'm in on the top of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The views expressed on our programs are not necessarily those of WVON, Midway Broadcasting Corporation, or participating sponsors.
May is Health Awareness Month. Infant immunization protects babies and families from preventive disease throughout life. Call 833-ASK-NLHP to learn about how to get the care your infant needs. This healthy reminder is brought to you by Next Level Health.
Live from the Xfinity Studios at WVON. You're listening to The Morning Show with Maze Jackson on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Rise and shine. Rise and shine with the WVON Morning Show. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Featuring Maze Jackson.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The WVON Morning Show. Wake up!
What's up, y'all? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Well, wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, who just slid in here safe. It's like, you know what? It seems like Todd Stroger is taking us back to the old days when people came running in right as the music was starting. Todd, we're going to call you Safe.
Hey, it's kind of interesting. So I get up at the same time, but if I've been out later, I find myself sitting and just kind of like reading, and then the next thing I'm like, oh, I better start moving, and I move a little bit, talk to the cat, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta run.
Man, well, let me tell you, you got to set that alarm a little bit earlier, man, because I'm going to tell you, you got to get a pattern, man. You got to get a pattern. Your clock says, let me tell you,
Claire had a recital, well, not recital, because she says for 6-year-olds. She had a concert last night.
a concert. How did it
Kept me
go?
up till 10 o'clock. It was good. They were real good. It was at her high school.
You know what? I went to that high school for a review. I was actually, I don't think they have a band. I think they have an orchestra. Because I went to I remember I took my, right. They got brass, woodwinds, they got timpani, they got all the instruments. They been, right, like when we were in school, it wasn't like that. I went to the, man.
We had a band.
We had a band, saxophone, horns. You might get a flute, a clarinet. But boy, when you go to their school, you come in, it's like choir singing. Whoa! I remember we went to
Right.
to
It's
take
like
my
two
son.
choirs.
My son, I was trying to get him to go to that school. He looked at me like that. There's no way I'm going to this school. But I was like, son, look at the singing choirs when you come in. It was polished brass. And I was like, wait a minute, is this gold? Are these gold fixtures? When I saw the big old gold eagles, I was like, this is where it goes down.
Well,
Hey,
you know, there's people's names all over the place.
well, it's people's names all over that place because it means you dropped them checks.
That's right.
But actually, you drop not just checks, you drop cash. You put it down. Hey, this is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, co-host Taj Georgia. But let me do this. Let me say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? Annette, how you feeling this morning?
It's a new day. It's a new Chicago, y'all. We have a new mayor.
It's a new day.
Mayor-elect. We all have to get used to saying Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
You know what I'm getting ready to get used to? Not having to say Rahm Emanuel. You know what? I tried to leave it.
Get used to that.
I-
You really think somebody's gonna have to get used to that?
He never returned my phone call. He never returned my phone call. You know, in the 2.5 years that I've been doing the WVON Morning Show, Rahm
2.5 years.
never returned
getting
my
old.
phone. Yeah, Todd, you are getting old, man. I'm telling you.
Okay. I'm the one supposed to say that.
You know, I'm supposed to say, oh, no, you don't look a day over 60. I'm just joking. Hey, how you doing? I'm just serious. No, I'm just kidding.
I have one more for you.
Yes.
Something else that's on my mind this morning. I can't remember the last time I had anybody fight over me about how much money they've given me. Morehouse is going through that, you know. So Oprah Winfrey was criticized about, you know, going to a commencement address and giving out her book, and as opposed to you know, Mr. Smith, who paid off their school tuition or their school student loans, right? So Oprah comes back and says, hold up, I've already given over $500,000 to Morehouse.
You ungrateful Negroes.
I'm not reading anymore.
No, I'm sorry. Let me back up. She's given $13 million in scholarships, and she says that she's put more than 400 Morehouse men through college.
Oh, let's call it you know what? You just fixed me
Who
up.
does the most?
I seem like Negroes is doing the most. Cause first of all, y'all first came here. Y'all first came to school, and y'all big deal was to graduate. If somebody would have gave you $500 each off your loan, you should be grateful.
If somebody had paid for one book for me in college, I would have been immensely grateful.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. You just saved the day, Annette, cause we're gonna talk about this ungrateful Negroes at 8:30. Ungrateful Negroes is the title for our 8:30 segment. We will be discussing that, cause you know what, black folks is something else. Look, that is Annette Flournoy in the newsroom. But if we're gonna get this thing off the ground, then we gotta say what's up to the ladies in the cockpit. That's right. Sonia Tompkins and Sonia Escobar, better known as the Wonder Twins. Ladies, how are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Imagine if you graduate in the summer or the fall.
You missed it.
That one credit.
Nah, but you know, I'm like, if I was at the commencement, because you know they let you go to the commencement, they were like, you still gotta go, but
Empty diploma.
right. Oh no, man, did you see? I've seen some great memes though. Like I seen people from Georgia State scratching out their Georgia State, being like, Morehouse. Like I've been seeing some really good memes. How you feeling, Sonia Tompkins? I see you up there. You were busy yesterday. You were down at the inauguration with our own Perry Small doing your live broadcast. Talk to me about the energy in the room. How was it?
Oh, it was off the chain. There was one room where if you're anybody to interview, they were in this one room, and it was kind of like the biggest. The energy was so, oh my gosh, yeah, thank you, twin, electrifying. It was amazing. But let me say this really quick to you all. I did miss out on our dedication to Wayne, so wanted to say good morning to Wayne. Let me say this, guys. On my way to work, I was driving and praying about Wayne's family. And as I was driving, I saw the most beautiful rainbow. And it put the biggest smile on my face. And I know we always want to, when a death happens and you see something, you want to attribute it to somebody specific. And I attributed that rainbow to Wayne. So good morning to you, Wayne.
Good morning. You know what? So I'm gonna go backwards, and I'm gonna say that today is the day it made the sense to me. today is the day because this is the day. Like on Sundays, I didn't see Wayne because he did overnights on Friday, and that was the end of our. So today it was coming around that corner and realizing that he was not going to be here, and they're not going to say I didn't do it, or that the music wasn't going to be so loud that it was driving me nuts.
Or the smell of dinner.
Right, or the
Mac
smell.
and cheese.
And I'm gonna tell you what, Wayne, you walk in this mug. When you would come here, Wayne had like this triple level lunchbox, and it had like he slid.
Lunchbox world.
Right, and he would slide a whole meal. You come in there, you be like, straight up, Wayne, straight up, dog. I mean, he would be up in this mug like it would be a feast. Like I was like, man, you ain't bring me dinner. It's like he had Sunday dinner. Like you know, Wayne had somebody cooking for him, cause
Wayne did that cooking.
Well, Wayne cooked every damn day then, cause he had a straight up meal. Like how I be cooking at 6 o'clock. That's how it was in here at 4 o'clock in the morning when you came in. Like, oh, it's dinner time. Hey y'all, our thoughts and prayers go out to Insane Wayne Fields, but I'm gonna tell you what, they go up because we know if there was anybody, it's that brother Insane Wayne. You know, all the way back to 1983.
1980. Man, that's a long time.
Hey man, I was in 5th grade. 5th grade.
I probably was in 6th grade.
Yeah, no.
Okay, guys, what are we gonna do for? You know, Wayne ran the stage for the Taste of WVON. That's his stage. Now we got.
Good Lord.
Who's gonna take that over?
Yeah.
Who here at WVON can fill those huge shoes?
You know what? Nobody.
We
First of all,
should do it all collectively together, hold hands and take that stage together because not one person can do it.
I love that.
I'm gonna tell you, and you say fill his shoes. Didn't he wear like a size 18? Y'all tripping. I'm right here like, I got half, right? What y'all gonna do with the rest? Hey y'all, much love to our brother Insane Wayne. You know what? They say give me my flowers while I'm here. I do believe that in my time, Wayne took his flowers around this mug. He used to come in like, I'll be like, I'm not talking to you. I have to focus on my show. Okay, just give me 1 minute, brother. And be like, okay. Man, I do feel bad because
Annette is on there.
one day.
I know, right? I'm still nodding my head while I'm doing the news.
All right, and he talking. I'm like, look, man, you know I got a show, and like, I know, man, but just let me talk to you about that. And then, you know, the best part was he coming. Did you get your? I'm like, hey, man, I don't even want to get in there. Let me just let it be. I don't be like, you know what? Cause Wayne, about the 17, Wayne would be like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? I'd be like, hold on, dog. I don't even want to be in that. It's the WVON. It wasn't me. It's the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Ty Stroger, we got the Morning Show crew. Let's get this thing to 50,000 feet, and we'll be back with traffic, after traffic, and the weather. All right, y'all, take a moment, share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Todd Stroger is now on the camera. Todd, you don't be sharing the broadcast, man. What's up with that?
I do.
No?
I share it every day.
Okay.
Look at that. You hear that? He jumped on me. I need all of you to write into the station and say, tell Mace to leave him alone. But I didn't do it today. Let me get over there to Facebook. Sometimes this stuff ain't as easy as it looks.
What ain't as easy as it looks?
Sometimes this whole sharing thing is like, come on, man, work.
They be trying to stop me, man. It's a conspiracy against your boy Maze Jackson in the building. How y'all feeling this morning? Take a moment, share the broadcast. How is everyone? Let me go. Are you all starting any watch parties? You should invite your friends to a watch party. What's up to President Steele? What's up, Aunt Tennille? I gotta get a better. So, you know, Tennille, when
Let me ask you really quick. I know we're gonna do your health and awareness in the 8 o'clock hour. Would you rather for it to be 8 o'clock or 8:30?
What?
Your health and awareness
Guest?
segments. Yeah.
It's a guest?
They're not today, but yeah, just your guests. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
put them in the 8:30.
8:30.
8:30. I don't like 8.
Now remember, we have to do 20. We have to do 20 minutes. They really said 30 minutes. But
So do 8:30.
8:30. Okay.
Tomorrow, do them on set. Do them from 8 to 8:20.
Okay.
Tomorrow
and see
and
when
Wednesdays.
these doctors are available. That's the hardest thing. But I'm gonna have to keep them at 8:30. So that's
All right. Well, then just leave them at 8:30.
Okay.
Make sure they got good topics.
Well, so far I got 2 good topics: plastic surgery and.
I'm really mad that we didn't get Dr. Rachel back. We gotta find
That's
us
your
our
boy who did that.
That's all right. It was his contact or somebody's contact. That's all right. We gonna have us a stupid
Yeah.
list.
Okay. So I got 2 great topics.
I want Damon Dash.
Okay.
What does Damon Dash do?
Everything. He's an entrepreneur.
Yeah, he was. I get him and Damon John mixed up. Lord have mercy.
No, I want Damon
You want
Dash.
Okay.
All right, I just sent all y'all to run down. Take a moment, share the broadcast. Oh, I'm leaving here, guys. Todd, you got to do at 8:45. You got to carry the show, my friend. Because I am leaving.
I'm calling somebody to come in.
I'm leaving to go to your friend, our friend Chris Anderson's. I'm speaking to the realtors.
Oh, he's back with the real.
Yes.
All right, right.
So I'm going to speak on a panel for the realtors today.
Yeah, we'll give Chris and Brian my best.
Brian Bernardoni.
Yeah. That's my guy. I like Brian.
Y'all take a moment, share the broadcast.
Dick Simpkins was there for the sign. Dick Simpkins wrote a white
Simpson.
paper. You know Dick Simpkins.
Simpkins or Simpson? Dickie Simpkins. Dick Simpson.
Oh, Dickie Simpkins. Is he a basketball player?
Yes, he used to.
Yeah, that's right. I used to actually like a lot of basketball. But no, Simpson. The alderman, the old alderman.
Said that. That's the social media question of the day.
What's that?
About the fear?
No.
Oh,
this,
okay, go
this is
ahead.
all about me.
Okay, good.
He wrote a white paper about the county. And basically he was saying that like 99 people have gone to jail in the county in the last 60 years. Like 80 of them went to jail under P.J. Cullerton in like 1959. And then 20 of them probably went to jail under Graylaw. But it was while I was president, so it made it seem like, oh man.
Hit that door.
Oh yeah.
And not most never do. It's only but to rain down in Africa. It's a time and well, things I never did.
I don't remember the rest. Company. That's right. Kilimanjaro.
Something.
I know it's a mountain. Brigade. Deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become.
You are too. She was like, "You gonna let me play my song?" Sonya's like, "I'm in control of this music." You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. Look,
You know
I
what's
try
funny
to take
about that,
what's
though?
funny.
They sang that song last night. The choir did.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they sing that? See, I have a funny feeling about white folks singing songs about Africa. Because it never ended well for the Africans. And it's like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about
School
that.
is mixed, sir.
Yeah, it's not really, no. It's not really mixed. It's got chips. It's got chocolate chips. It ain't mixed. Come on, man. You know, it's one thing to be a blended school where it's like, no, it is like a white cookie with chocolate chips dropped in it. I'm not tripping. I ain't mad. Great network.
I'm not arguing.
Right, right. Hey y'all, it's the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host. I just gotta tell y'all this was funny because I was about to come back off of not, and I wasn't gonna let the chorus. And Sonya was like, hold on. I know it's the WVON Morning Show with Maze Jackson, but we gonna hear the African chorus. I was like, and now. She was like, okay. She was like, and now. I was like, okay, I'll take it. All right, y'all. Let me run through some of these headlines because we got so much going on. First of all, yesterday, Mayor Lightfoot got sworn in, and she laid the smackdown in the speech, or so she thought. Todd, that speech at the inauguration, I thought it was a lot of people fired up. I think there's a whole bunch of hope and inspiration. This feels like kind of like...
You could feel it.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel? Don't. But you know, I was thinking about how it was with Barack Obama. Remember how we was all like, I was in Grand Park, I was swaying, I was like, oh! And then, you know what?
I remember that.
8 years later, I was like, this mug. Right? So, dear
I
Mayor...
was standing next to Tatiana Ali. I was like, wow, a star.
Man, Tatiana Ali used to be in Chicago smoking cigarettes at the Buzz. Boo. I remember one time I was like, oh my God, you're Tatiana Ali. She blew a big old puff of smoke, and I was like, you blew it all. Oh, you blew it. All right, first city council meeting is today. It'll be interesting.
No, is it Wednesday?
It's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I thought it was today. Is it today or is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday? Okay. So then we've got a date. So that kind of threw me off a little bit. I had today down. I don't know why I thought today. So with city council on Wednesday, where we will find out if the city council, if Mayor Lightfoot will be in for council wars or not. I saw my boy Omari.
No, I think we know that already.
I saw my boy Omari Prince said that he thought that was the beginning of city council wars yesterday at the speech. I did think it was interesting, and we'll talk about it, because when she did that clap and turned around and like made them clap, and it was like, wait a minute.
About what?
About corruption and all the stuff in the city council, and it was kind of like,
oh, I missed that.
it was a classic moment, because it was like she did one of these to the audience, and the audience started going crazy, and so she turns around to the alderman and is like,
y'all need to clap.
Y'all better. So then you see them all start to stand up, and it's like you're clapping for your demise. You know how I talk about dancing to your demise? They were clapping for their demise, and I don't know if they're ready. I don't think it's going to be council wars, because I don't know if the people who got left out. I think she did a pretty interesting job of building insulating herself from the people who got left out. I think the biggest people who got left out are Anthony Beale and Ray Lopez. I think Ray Lopez has taken up the Ed Burke banner, and I think
I think you're right.
And I think I think that when you see Lopez, he is really saying the things that Ed Burke would say, but Ed Burke has to be quiet right now.
Yes.
And I think Anthony Beale was talking a lot, and then she cut him off. And I don't know if I think if she would have cut him off and people would respond, I think if she would have cut somebody different off, there might have been a different response. But I don't think anybody's going to go to war for Alderman Beale.
She cut him off in mid-sentence.
Right. Right. And everybody else like, well, I still got my committees.
You're right.
Sorry, dog. Hey, right. And shoot, Alderman Brookins came up and then she
up in the world.
Look, she took his joint and gave it to someone pretty close to him. So, Alderman Brookins like, well, didn't nobody say, no, I'm not taking that committee.
Right.
No. I mean, and then the other one that you got to watch is this Pat Dow, Carrie Austin thing. One of the things that I thought was really interesting.
So I didn't see Carrie Austin's name on the list that's been going around.
Carrie Austin is getting apparently contract compliance
That's what
which
I
is
thought.
a new
I heard
committee
somebody say that.
as a consolation prize. But I think when you go from budget to consolation, it'll be interesting to see. I think I'll be interested to see how that plays out. Oh my God, is it 6:30 already? All right, we gotta go to track. Look, all right, well, we're gonna be pushing this show a little bit down the line. So look, we're gonna finish these headlines. We'll do the social media question of the day, and then we'll work through the show. We'll get through it. It's the Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back.
Live from the WVON.
All right, we got some more headlines to get through. So I see. So I think her cutting Bill off, the way she cut him off, because she straight cut him. Like, she was like he was one of the most senior aldermen, and he don't have no
And
committee.
he would tell you that. He'd tell you he's a senior black guy.
He ain't more senior than Alderman Burnett. It's Kerry Austin, then it's Burnett, then it's Bill.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
I mean, no, they just like to ignore the West Side. And, they be like, but right now, you think about it though, check this out. The West Side remained intact. They didn't lose nothing. Think about it. Matter of fact, they gained.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Michael Scott got education.
Yep.
Alderman Burnett kept transportation. Traffic safety.
Yeah, yep.
Emma kept licenses.
Right.
Talaferro got police and fire.
Ah, that's what.
Right?
I knew you got something.
Then you think about it. She put a neutral by putting Pat Dowell in the budget spot. She keeps the fight. She may lose Kerry, but she picks up the Tony group, right? So now if you take Pat as finance, that gives you back the Preckwinkle coalition. That busts into the Preckwinkle coalition because Pat was one of Preckwinkle's most loyal soldiers. But now you the finance, you the budget chair. Who you gonna be loyal to?
Oh, well, yeah, the mayor.
Okay, so now Pat Dowell, Sophia King, and Rod Sawyer and Leslie Hairston were all Preckwinklers. You use Pat, none of them were ever with Kerry, right? They were all like, they used to, you know how that goes. They was like
They tolerated her, but
right, but they was the High Park, etc. So now you trade 3 for 1. You oust Austin, you put in Dowell, and then you make Dowell work all of the Preckwinkle camp.
Well, isn't that the progressive camp anyway? I mean, that's the black progressive camp. I mean, all those black folks who talk about they're progressive. I mean, Rod's my guy. We went to high school together, but he ain't no progressive. He lives in a neighborhood who doesn't care one thing about progressive. They care about making sure things happen down there. But I don't think very people, they want change, but I wouldn't call them progressives. And the High Park guys, I always said, that's my thought. They're just an extension of the North Shore guys with, just less area and less rich people. There's more academics than there are millionaires. But they're still all in the same camp. So none of this surprises me. I mean, she just made good moves, basically.
So now, right now, if you look around, anybody that they could call together, who can they call together to put it together? So who stands up for Bill? Nobody.
No.
Nobody's gonna fight for Bill, and I think Chairman Austin has been, a significant amount of her power has come from seniority and the granting of the privilege from seniority.
Right.
When you take away the privilege of seniority, I don't know how many people actually go to war for her to protect her power, right? So what council
Well,
is
there's two things going on. It's not just that. There's this whole mandate thing where everyone's like, I mean, let's be honest, everyone's in love with the mayor right now. So she is far and above the alderman. Where, I mean, I'm reading people on Facebook and they're all like, kick those aldermen's butts. They don't do nothing. She's in the chair.
I feel like so, but again, so we're gonna talk about this because even though she's in the chair, and I used to be having been a president of an organization, you can be in the chair, but if you ain't got the,
But she's got it. That's the difference. She's got the people behind her. There's no doubt that she's got all those Northsiders. They don't dare go against her. You know how black folks are. They're like, the power's going that way, I'm in. They're not gonna to cross her. They think she's gonna have her way. The mayor is so powerful. I try to tell people this all day, and you know, the mayor is such a powerful person. I was just telling Hans again, the mayor is like a governor. He does everything a governor does. He's got police. He's got probably more police than the governor's got actually, and I know he does. He's got 2 airports. He's running the schools. He's running the parks. He's running the library. Man, that kind of power is unprecedented in the United States. There's very few people who can say they can do all those things, and even better, drive from one end to the other in 45 minutes or an hour or something.
and think about this.
Connecticut ain't got nothing on Mayor Daley.
You mean who's Mayor Daley?
Mayor
Lightfoot.
Lightfoot, yeah.
See, look at you. You stuck in the past. Think about this. Did you get keys to the private road?
What?
Did you get keys to the private road? Did you get access to the private road under the city when you were the chairman of the county, president of the county?
There's a private road? God, no.
You didn't get.
I
You
didn't
didn't.
know there is a private road.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's a private road under the city that the mayor uses to get through traffic and all of that.
The mayor ain't giving that to me.
Well, I would have thought that everybody would have had, like, the leaders, like, in case y'all had to get out on the escape plan. But there's literally, under Chicago, there is it's not like all through the city, but to get you through downtown,
It's in the old city, I guess.
it's down underneath the city, and it's funny because we all talk about, like, when we will know that we have truly, truly, truly arrived when we get access to that road. But if you ain't had access to the road and you're the president of the county,
Well, you know, we had our own emergency management that I was the head of, but it's for the suburban areas. The city controls everything in here. They don't give nothing up.
man, I'd be like, I'll let you beat traffic if
The
you
only
let
way to
me.
give something up is that they need something. If they needed something from me, I can make a deal with them and get it, but I have to give something up.
Okay. Well, I'd be like, let me tell you, I'd give up a lot to have the keys to that private road, because then you ain't got to get no traffic. But you got a driver, so you sit in the back anyway, like,
Yeah,
and everything
driver
else.
is a great thing.
I promise you, that is, so I want a shooter driver.
You mean you want to have a gun?
Yeah, I want an armed driver.
Yeah,
I want usually though with my
they were
guy,
sheriffs, so they were armed.
my guy usually when he does my security, he does, it's great though. It really is. It'd be like, excuse me, get through. But it's like, I don't want to be that guy, right? Like the guy walking around with but I'm starting to feel like, man, these days, way these crazy people be. Take a moment and share the broadcast. Share the broadcast. What's up, everybody? Daryl said he used the road all the time. Todd, you the only one that ain't know about it.
Yeah, I'm the only one to know.
Sitting in church, we sang this song, Pass Me Not.
Oh, gentle Savior, hear my humble cry.
Others thou
While on
Do not
others thou art calling, do not pass me by. Hear my boy cry. Why on others thou art calling? Do not pass me by. That's when you reach out. Savior, Savior, hear my humble cry. Why on others thou art calling? Do not pass me by. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd.
Hey, man, I forgot to tell you, thank you for the tickets I had to come up in the world. I started out with that general admission, and then you friended me, 2 seats on the floor, and then I get there and I run to Sonia, and she says, hey, we got a booth, and I get up in the booth, and all of a sudden I'm in the booth, and next thing I know I'm on the air. It was a strange day.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you what, Todd, it was a good thing. No, it was a good thing. You know what, I felt kind of good because I had some decent seats. You know, I was a little upset with Mayor Lightfoot. I ain't going to even lie because, you know, people called me and said, man, Maze, the mayor-elect has got to talk to you before she gets sworn in. They didn't follow up, but I figured she was busy. But you know, I didn't even ask for the tickets, and then these tickets came, and then people was like, "Oh, you got some these?" All right.
They had your name on them. I was like, "Wow, Maze is important."
Wait a minute, they had my name on the seats?
No, on the tickets.
Oh yeah. Hey man, I was like, you know what? I felt some kind of way. I didn't have the GAs, but you know what? But again, always fighting for the black folks, and it's like, y'all, I'm gonna keep telling you. I'm gonna keep pushing. Todd, but you know what? Let me tell you what. Lori Lightfoot, I keep feeling suspect about her being black, right? Like her blackness. Her mama came out yesterday. I'm gonna tell you, I was clapping like a mug. Then when I read the story about her grandfather that had been lynched and shot, I was like, man, this is the no. Then she talked about her brother who was in jail, and when I saw him on TV, I was like, now that's a brother. That's a real brother. She got some real black stuff going on in her house.
Right.
And let me tell you what. You know I grew up in the church.
Yes.
And so when she said there was a song in my church, "Pass Me Not, O Gentle Savior," I was like, that woman is black. Because I'm gonna tell you, that is a song. When she said that, look, I was in the studio at Fox 32. She said, they was looking at me like I was crazy because I was like, "Pass me not, oh just." So imagine sitting there with the Republicans. I'm on the news stage and I'm singing, "Pass me not, oh gentle Savior." You know what? I gotta send a big shout out to my mother because I could remember her singing that song on Saturday mornings. I would also recall her when we would go traveling around the state, introducing white people to black people, and she would sing at the church. And I used to be embarrassed, right? You know, like you sitting in the class and you would be embarrassed, sitting in the church because all these white folks looking at your mom sing these songs with this level of passion, and she would sing them and cry, and I mean, really, and you'd be like, "Mom, you're embarrassing me." And then here you are, 48 years old, and you listen to the words of those songs, and you think about how many people those spiritual songs got through their trials and tribulations. And you think about when you listen to the words, I know y'all, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be preaching this morning, but when you listen to the words, "Pass me not, O gentle Savior," right? And you think about how many people sang that spiritual and what it meant to them back in the day. Just man, I'm gonna tell you, when she said that, when she was saying those words yesterday,
She got Maze Jackson.
she got me. She got me on. I'm in Fox looking like, uh-oh. I said, that's a real black woman, y'all. And they was like, and then they were looking like, I was like, pass. And you know I can't sing, but I was singing. I was singing. All right, y'all. Let me go through the rest of these headlines. Hundreds headed out to City Hall yesterday to meet the new mayor-elect. Got to pay attention to this concept of the war in Iran. Hey, y'all, they're making me nervous. You saw Lightfoot signed an executive order yesterday banning automatic privilege, even though I keep telling people stop getting all worked up. It's just the driveway permits and the signs that hang over the sidewalk. It ain't the zoning.
Right.
But you know what? I was watching that Alderman Ray Lopez was upset. But it seems to me like the reason that he's upset about these things is because he don't got a lot going on in his ward. So he got to be.
He's gonna be the local, not local, the opposition.
I think he gonna be the
Opposition voice for the next 4 years.
I think he gonna get pounded into submission because he don't have a lot of allies, right? Remember he left.
You remember when you have nothing to lose.
Right. I mean, so you can walk away. I mean, he can be the voice of the opposition, but he gonna be a voice in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, I mean, maybe him and a couple people who got left out, but I don't see, like, remember, Ray Lopez cut himself out of the Latino caucus. The white guys are only going to use you as long as
You're useful?
As long as you're useful. Ed Burke is on very thin ice. He is Ed Burke. I feel like when you hear Ray Lopez talk, we watch him read, because if you see, every time you see him, he got the papers on the desk. I never saw anybody go to the TV station with their whole script written down on the TV station on the desk. Like, so I'm gonna tell you, yeah, he's gonna be the scripted anti-Lori Lightfoot. He's gonna try and do it in a gentle way, so it's careful not to offend and get the Anthony Beale treatment. But yeah, I do think he'll be the voice of opposition. How about this one? Black strippers in Mississippi won a $3.3 million lawsuit of discrimination, workplace discrimination. Apparently, the black strippers were fined $25 for being late, and they had to work the terrible shifts. Plus, they had to work at the black club, the black strip club. No, they worked at the white one for less wages, but then they had to go also work at the black strip club, where it was less safe and they got paid less. I'm just gonna tell y'all, having gone to, I'm a lot of money. I'm a 3.3 million. They got split up. I wonder what 3.3 million. I wonder how many nights of tips those are. But here's the thing: having been to, I'm not a strip club goer. I'm not. But having been to a black strip club and a white strip club, I think black women that work at black strip clubs need hazard pay. Because what y'all do to sisters for $1, it's really out of control. Look, y'all, when we come back, we're going to move around. We're going to do the social media question of the day. It's the Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back. Black strip club and white strip club. I'm not a strip club goer. Have y'all ever been to
I've only been to one, and that was Brooklyn, Illinois. And that was...
Oh, is that outside of East St. Louis?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was a bachelor party.
Oh, my God. Brooklyn, Illinois.
Yeah.
I seen things that was the ones outside of East St. Louis. I seen things in them strip clubs that just, you're not supposed to see. I wasn't prepared. I was there for amateur night. Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, I'm guessing amateur night would have to be pretty wild. I don't know. That was how old am I? 56. So that was probably about 56. So that was probably about 30 years ago. And I don't remember. It didn't seem like it was. It seemed like a pretty calm place. And it was definitely a black strip club. I don't remember the white people. Yeah. But that's interesting. $3.3 million. I wonder how many people are involved in that. Man, people really were receptive to that speech, though. This is the first time I really remember.
On a Tuesday.
That it seems that everybody in the city from all different places are really on board with the mayor. I mean, I've seen mayors win, and kind of when Mayor Emanuel won, people were like, "Oh well, that's nice." I mean, he got something from everybody. But this is the first mayor I remember when everybody seems to be on board. Harold Washington didn't have that.
Harold Washington, you know what somebody described to me? I was talking to a senior Daily family member, and he's told me that Harold Washington used to treat black aldermen like shit because he had the black community. So he could do anything he wanted to the black aldermen because they couldn't go against him, right? Because the overwhelming popularity. So he cut the deals with the white folks to get his agenda done, and the black folks. And this was a Daily like, man, we cut all type of deals with Harold Washington, and he didn't ever have to worry about because he was at a level. He was greater
than anybody in the black neighborhood. Yeah, and that's true. That feeling. I mean, he's not the only person like that. The black aldermen.
Remember when
they were upset? I should say.
Remember when he did? He actually turned on Lou Palmer.
I don't know. Turning on somebody. That's such a.
Okay, not turn. He chose differently.
Yeah, I mean. Everybody thinks that they should be something.
I know the feeling.
But
I know.
But your criteria might be different.
Yeah.
And different reasons.
Right. I'll be honest with you.
And everybody thinks that they are. I shouldn't say everybody, but there's always a group of people who thinks that without me, there is no you. So when they don't get what they want, they are very upset.
No, Jamalita, you say I'm delusional. No, I'm not. I mean, I think it's the same case of.
I'm talking about you?
I don't know if I think she is, but I'm saying that I don't think that it's delusional to think that. And when I say treat him like shit, I don't mean like they. I'm saying that he did not have to. It's like Barack Obama. Barack Obama did not have to cater to black folks, the black political class, because he didn't need the black political class. Harold Washington probably had his allies, but like for the rest of the people, and it's like you either roll with it or he just said, this Negro ain't with me, and so bam, bye. And then what you gonna do? Right. So think about the old school people who, I could change the world. Someone else is the beauty, but could a change the world. You are tuned into Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host Todd Stroger in the building.
I
hey,
like
Todd.
that movie, Phenomenon. That was a good movie.
I never saw it.
Yeah, I think I might have been the only guy.
Something like a phenomenon. Something that one. Something like a phenomenon.
No, like that song.
Something
that
like if I could change the world. Is that Eric Clapton?
Right.
Okay, I like Eric Clapton. You know what? Is this the one? I like Tears from Heaven. The one when his son passed away.
Sad.
Yes, it was a sad song.
Hey,
great. Speaking of passing away, Melvin Edmonds of After 7 has passed at age 65.
Not funny, but that was just Babyface.
Right. That's what made me think of it.
No, well, you keep going.
But go ahead, Todd.
No, that's his group. After 7. I mean, they say without their cousin, they wouldn't. There's a cousin or brother.
I thought it was brother.
Yeah, without their brother, they wouldn't exist, and they were really good.
The moment, 'cause baby, I lost my head, I lost my mind. It is the WVON morning show. So let's go to the social media question of the day. Hey, y'all. Yesterday, one of the most poignant moments of Mayor Lightfoot's speech was when she turned and looked at the aldermen, encouraging them to clap for her to clap at her criticism of them. It was an awkward moment. Do y'all remember yesterday when she was like, "And never," you got that? Never will another alderman, should they ever profit off of their jobs and their elected positions. You got that? If you got it, hit it for me. But it was a very awkward moment because she started clapping. The audience went crazy. And then she turned around and did the slow clap to the alderman. Give it to me, Sonia.
When public officials cut shady backroom deals, they get rich, and the rest of us get the bill. When some people get their property taxes cut in exchange for campaign cash, they get the money, and sure enough, we get the bill. The family with the bungalow, the lady who runs the hair salon, the guy who owns the store on the corner. They aren't powerful or big or well connected, but they end up paying when our government is corrupt. These practices have gone on for far too long, and this practice breeds corruption. Stopping it isn't just in the city's interest, it's in the city council's interest. No official in the city of Chicago, elected or appointed, should ever profit from his office. Never, ever. The requirement that people must give more to access basic city services must end. And it will, starting today. Later this afternoon, I will sign an executive order to end the worst abuses of the so-called aldermanic privilege.
All right, so y'all, if you were watching that, all the crowd was clapping and the aldermen were kind of looking like, you talking to me? Are you talking to me? And then she turned around and she looked at Ed Burke. Now, I'm going to just tell you, a lot of people don't really be looking at Ed Burke in the eyes like that. You know it too. You know ain't nobody looking at Ed Burke with no threat or no perceived threat and looking him in the eyes. She turned around and was like, and I'm talking to you. And you, and you, and you, and you. But then she also changed up the power structure. So Ty, you know she took Alderman Beal is no longer the transportation chairman, ignored his seniority, got rid of Alderman Austin or demoted her, changed up the whole power structure in the city council. And now, Todd, I saw a story in the paper today from Dick Simpson. Now you remember...
Before you said, did she really change the power structure? Or is it still, if you're white, you're going to be very powerful, and if you're black, you're going to be kind of powerful?
You know what, Todd? You might be right. Right, because we got the budget, but we didn't...
We had budget before.
We had budget before. We didn't make any gains.
A difference would have been if...
We got finance.
Pat Dow was the finance chair, but she ain't.
There you go. So now, what will be cool to see is interesting to see is if will Lori Lightfoot move the budgets closer since they were supposed to be power sharing equals at one point. We'll look at that because you know Ed Burke controlled the budget. Go ahead.
But let's look at the committees really quickly, and these are what I say are the power committees. It would be finance, budget, zoning, aviation, rules.
Okay.
So there are black people in budget
and rules.
How many people are in the Black Caucus?
20.
Yeah.
So we're not.
Oh, has things really changed?
Yep. Maybe not. Let me ask. So the social media question of the day, though, real quick. Alderman Dick Simpson suggested. Now this is the do-good alderman who hated Mayor Daley and talked about all. Now he's saying that now that there's 20 black aldermen, that the mayor should have. What did she say? They should have she should keep the alderman reasonably frightened. Reasonably frightened. This is what Dick Simpson says. Remember I tell y'all about how white folks, and this is progressive, but when the black folks is in control.
Progressive, you sound like an overseer.
That's exactly. Keep them Negroes reasonably frightened. So here's the social media question. Should the city council fear Mayor Lightfoot? Will they? We'll talk about it when we come back after traffic, news, and the weather.
The talk of Chicago and the voice of the nation is 1690 WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Take a moment, share the broadcast.
Reasonably frightened. What the heck is that?
That's the. And they published it.
Right.
He wrote that and they published it. Keep them niggas in check.
He said that about the caucus or all?
He said the alderman, but. He
Yeah.
focused on Alderman Bill.
Yeah.
Now that is the go-to do-gooder alderman who got his ass kicked. And so once he got his ass kicked, then he became the poster child of good government.
Well, it's interesting because even the paper said he was her first ally. I gotta look that word up. But the mayor's. So Bill, I guess, supported her. Did he support her? He must have, huh?
Yeah, but what does support mean? Right? Because you said you was down. I mean, like, this is me. Like, okay, hold on. Let me do this right now. So I got an issue with support. The concept of support, besides coming out and saying I'm on your team, hey, I support you, like, what does that mean? Back in the day when a committeeman said he supported you, that means that he was going to tell you how many votes he was going to get you by the precincts, blah, blah, blah. Now somebody says they support you, it means that they're going to take 100 of your signs and put them on the thoroughfares. They're not going to knock on doors, and they're going to be at a press conference and say, I'm with you. Does that mean you raised with me? When you white people and they say with you, when Madigan say he with you, that means you got money, you got troops, you got mail, you got all the resources in the toolbox. Todd, what does it mean when a black person tells you they're with you?
Well,
Politically.
right.
Politically.
It depends on who the black person is. Most black people don't have a lot of resources. So, there's some wards, like, we'll just take our wards, 27 and 8. They have people. They can do their own printing and put your name on it. They're not going to ask you for a lot of money. They may ask you for some money for printing. But they're going to put some resources into the fight. And they're going to get people to go out and knock on doors in their ward. And if you have something happen, they may be able to send people there to cheer you on or to do a blitz somewhere. That's political support. And if they got a lot of money, they may even be able to cut some off for you. There's very few people who can do that nowadays, but there are a few aldermen who have some deep pockets. And if they're not giving it to you, then they will be using it for people to go out and work on your behalf. So yeah, there's not a lot of wards who can do that. Most wards are just trying to make it themselves, and if they don't get money on election day from somebody, they don't have a card to pass out, with people who they support. That's part of the game, is when you go into the polls, if you have confidence in me as your elected official, or the committeeman of the ward, these are the people who will work with me, and that's what I'm telling you. These are the people who will work with me. I can call them and try to get things to help us. And that's why I'm giving you this card with their names on it, hoping that you will support them. And most people are just trying to have enough money to run their own campaign. And getting people, it's almost impossible now. Everybody that they use are mercenaries. You hire somebody for a day or a weekend to run out and do things for you. And, that's not a very trustworthy system. you really have to be on top of those people because they have no true loyalty to you. You know, my dad, the only precinct captain I ever saw my dad get rid of, he might have gotten rid of some others, but the only one I know he got rid of left his precinct bag, which had all the election material, the signs you put out, and the palm cards you're gonna pass out. He left them under the viaduct.
Cool.
I'm not saying any names, but he was a precinct captain, and he was kicked out of the organization. Now, he turned out to have a substance abuse problem, but he abandoned his post during the war, so he was gone. But, you know, people don't even have people to give a bag to now.
Right. They don't even know. You know what? I'm sorry, man. You know what I used to do? One of my favorite tricks when people, like when you would come and it would be a candidate and you'd be representing the candidate and everybody be like, give me all your signs, give me all your stuff. Because, you know, when the candidate is there, everybody, ooh, I got you, give me your stuff. I'd be like, so we used to be like, hey, when you come in, put your car keys on the table. We gonna put your car keys on the table. And so people give us their car keys, and I would pop everybody's trunk. Mm-hmm. And then everybody, you could go look, and then so you could walk outside, and as the trunks start popping, people start being like, damn, all that shit that you was supposed to do, still in the trunk. I thought you was out knocking on doors.
Right.
Like, I just think that people, like, I watch people put on these dog and pony shows for when it's election time. So they have a meeting and they invite the candidate to their meeting and they pack the room with people, but them ain't people that's out every day knocking on doors that know they just got a nice little crowd there. Who has real, what, if you ain't putting no money or no real troops, who got people knocking on doors still, Todd?
Well, I was just saying, 827, you know, like in 21, we knocked on doors, but it's a small group of us. You know?
Right.
We're tiny.
Who even knows how to be a precinct captain? I was thinking, like, look at all the young, like, I was thinking about that thing. How many young Democrats even know, not even young Democrat, but who all knows how to really go win a precinct right now? If you dropped that person off and said, this your precinct anywhere, would they even know where to start?
No.
I'm giving you a precinct. I need you to win this precinct. So I found 2,069 precincts in the city. Can I get you to win this precinct? I bet you people wouldn't even know how to win a precinct. They wouldn't even know where to start.
Right.
Oh, Lord. Not addressed, though. This is me and Carrie. This is my baby son. My baby dancing, I'll be like this. I bet my girl like. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Ty Stroger, but y'all know how we do at the top of the hour. Gotta say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom? What's up to the Wonder Twins, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins? You know I gotta dedicate that to President Carrie Steele. That's when we got our attitude on. This when we got our attitude on and we getting dressed and she getting ready. I'm getting ready and I'll be like, I got the flyest chick in the game wearing my chain. And then she be rocking this. And then this when we in our Jay-Z, Beyonce, Maze and Carrie, Maze-a-Ree modes. I had a little moment right there. It's the WVON Morning Show. Gotta say what's up, Ty, why you laughing, man?
Hey.
You know, man, we be styling and profiling before we hit the streets.
Makes you feel good?
That's you know.
I'm all for it.
All right. Hey, y'all, speaking of that, you know, we got the couples walk coming up August 16th and 17th. Mays, Jackson, Carey, Steele, Shamari, and Ronnie DeVoe. Y'all, it's getting ready to go down. Y'all, couples walk coming up. Be on the lookout for that information. It's the social media question of the day. Yeah. Should the city council fear Mayor Lightfoot? Will they? Give us a call, 312-374-8130. Let's go to Zakia. Zakia, you on the Talk Chicago, 1690.
Yes, good morning, babe.
Good morning, Sister Zakia.
Listen, I was in my glory yesterday. I was there. I was excited. Everybody was excited. And when she talked about aldermanic syphilis, I mean, we went crazy in the audience because, see, a lot of us know how some of the aldermen would do, charge a person if they want to buy a vacant lot. And I mean, when I heard of the outside things that some aldermen do to people, I couldn't believe it. I said, can they really actually get away? You want a vacant lot, you got to go through them and get up thousands of dollars and all this other stuff. You want to sign or something, you got to pay up front and then, you know. But anyway, so back to my point, I was looking at Alderman Harris' face, and she was no happy camper. And we sat there and we laughed at her and we noticed her expression. She didn't get up. She was like, I ain't even trying to hear all of that, okay?
See, why do y'all seem like y'all having so much fun watching them people squirm like that?
No, it wasn't that. It's because we know that a lot of those aldermen, how they stick people up, charging people for things that they want in their own neighborhood, and it ain't right. We know how they favor their friends over the residents. We know how nasty they talk to you when you call their office trying to get things done. We know all of this. So those of us that's really hip to those aldermen who do that, I'm talking about the ones who do that. So this really ain't about fear as much as it is about change. Because listen, the aldermen just going to have to get used to it because, listen, they're going to have to get used to it. And this is what can happen. If she gets too much opposition from them, all she got to do is take a page out of their Harold Washington's legacy. Come into the community, Lori Lightfoot. Let the people know what you up against and who the ones that's up against you, like Mayor Washington used to do. And we would go downtown by the droves and fill the council upstairs, downstairs, outside. Listen, let me tell you, it's on, okay? It ain't it's about change.
Thank you.
It's about change. Do right by the people. You got that office, you're making good money, you got good benefits. Stop squeezing the people and draining the people on the side like some of them have been known to do. And I'm telling you, I was surprised that one of them go charge this amount of money for a businessman just to buy a lot. No, y'all ain't gonna do us like that no more. Nah.
See, I'm gonna tell y'all. Thank you, Sister Zakia. See,
I don't know, because everybody's got their own personal experience. Which alderman did she say?
See, why you trying? You know who she said. No, why you trying to act brand new? You know who she said. She said Joe Alden.
I wanted to make sure.
Okay, so
but
go ahead.
In our ward, there's not a lot. There's very few like vacant lots, and I don't know. The women who work in there, I don't know all of them well. Maybe they aren't as friendly as they should be. I can't tell you. But I would doubt that there is a large number of aldermen who are trying to take money. You know how this gets convoluted in some fashion is that when people give money to your campaign, and you are a businessman, people look at that as some kind of
quid pro quo. Yeah.
Right. So there's a fine line where it becomes, all right, so
it's a fine line.
How are you going to have a campaign if you're broke?
I agree.
What can you do?
I think that people support in different ways, and I do think that we need to get into campaign finance and donations one day, because I do think that this is another case of we cut our nose off to spite our face.
Oh, the feds,
So-
they were trying to send me to jail. They literally were asking me questions about who people were who had given me money. And it took me a minute to catch on, because, I was thinking that
Like
I'm
that-
not giving any money for favors. That you hire the people who you think, and they in turn tend to support you.
What?
But they all don't. Don't get it wrong.
So they don't. But Todd, I'm also tell you that, I think one of the other things, this is why I pride myself on what I do, is misinformation. Right? Like, so you can have a crackpot activist who will create a lie and then share it in a Facebook group. And because we don't research, we just take it for a lie. So I could show you a D2 and say, ooh, Maze Jackson got paid by blah, 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 and then try to turn a whole narrative because people play off of our lack of knowledge.
Right.
And so I do, it's so many times that I do feel like the aldermen need a better PR program. They need a real publicist, maybe not Joanna Klonsky. Someone who can understand and translate what they do to black folks. For black folks. Because I actually do think that a lot of things that we hear people saying, having been a chief of staff in a ward office, are just not true. And they're misconceptions.
Right.
And I think when you go see the sidewalk list and you realize that I only got $1 million and I got 700 blocks of sidewalks, and all 700 blocks want their sidewalks done this year, and I can only do 5.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody sees that. They just see the city, you been wasting my money. And I think, you all, that before we say we want anyone to fear anyone, I think there should be a balance, mutual respect. The second that we start fearing people, and that's how we are taught to black folks are taught to be feared. To fear the master instead of having a mutual respect. And so the second y'all start saying fear, they should fear Mayor Lightfoot. What happens when Mayor Lightfoot becomes Daenerys Targaryen and says, burn them all?
Exactly.
Right? You have to keep a balance, because nobody is going to always, you got to keep them to me, everybody need to be off balance. Nobody should be sure where anybody stands, because the moment you're sure where everybody stands is the moment you get comfortable and we don't get jacked.
That's why I was always saying that the aldermen need to organize themselves. That makes them a separate body from the mayor. The mayor's power is huge. Without her saying that these people who run this committee are my people, the aldermen should have their own separate thing, and that's how you keep the balance of power.
When we come back, y'all, we'll take your calls, and then we're going to move on, because we're going to talk about Lori Lightfoot's first week in office and what should we expect. We'll continue this when we come back.
More of the morning show with
Hey, shout out to Robert Feeder for the love.
Amen.
Robert Feeder put me in the paper. In the Feeder observations. Yeah. Y'all go to Robert Feeder's page for me and tell him, show him some love. Edit, copy. They put me in for showing love to Insane Whizzing. Take a moment, shut the broadcast, shut the broadcast, shut the broadcast. Take a moment, shut the broadcast, shut the broadcast, shut the broadcast. Take a moment, shut the broadcast, shut the broadcast, shut the broadcast. Who's rocking with me today? I can't see everybody for whatever reason. Tennille, it seems like when I film like this, oh, here it is. You know what? I'm sorry, I remember. All right, here we go. Now I can see y'all. All right, ready? Y'all ready for some love? Senatavius, what's up, man? When we gonna plug up? I was talking to the cop people yesterday. What up, Tracy? What up, Tiger Lily? What up, Carlotta? What up, Roy Royal Jackson? What up, Devon Gordine? What up, Leah Charrier? What up, Douglas Fairbanks? What up, Carlton Brown? Michelle Dowdy? Jermaine Marblehead? What's up, dog? What up, J Mar? What up, Roy Royal Jackson? What up, Carol Zwiezek? What up, Jedediah Brown? What up, Tammy Jackson? What up, Lunier? What up, Michelle Dowdy? What up, Patrick? Et Brute? Et? Hey, y'all, Patrick Brutus was famous yesterday. Did y'all see him on every newscast waiting in line to see Mary Lightfoot? He even got pictures with her. We seen you on TV. You famous, dog. What up? I'm sorry. What up, Bithia Graham? What up, President El Presidente? What up, Jed? What up, Jedediah Brown? Ooh, Jedediah Brown. I seen you yesterday. What up, Maria Munoz? You know I don't really share. You... Oh.
Oh, we just talking about
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Everything. Shine. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Dang. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Y'all, Todd, it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here. It's the social media question of the day.
That's because you were hopping around and singing.
Man, that's my, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? You know, man, that used to be my, I remember, I could only listen to the Jacksons and Kool and the Gang when I was a kid. So I used to get all the old Jackson records and play it like it was brand new because Reverend Jackson would be like, get that mess up out of here, boy. All right, let's go to social media question of the day. Should the city council fear Mayor Lightfoot? Will they? Let's go to Frank. Frank, you're on Talk Chicago 1690.
Good morning, Maze. Good morning, Todd. Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
I'm good. What happened? I'm not Brother Mays today?
Brother Maze, you know you're my brother.
Okay.
You're my favorite commentator. I can't tell the reason why. It's not a homosexual type of way. It's heterosexual.
Okay.
The name, though.
All right.
Of course, but Maze, you got to have a certain level of fear. There's different kinds of fears. The fear that you have for her is the fear of respect. Without a certain level of fear, you have no respect. They should respect the fact and fear if they tell them doing wrong, that she meant everything she said. She gave a truth to power type of speech like Minister Farrakhan did. She gave a speech that even Barack Obama himself will be proud of. I'm proud of the sister. I like the changes that she made, and there's a new sheriff in town. Whenever a new sheriff come in town, like Marshall Dillon, he make changes, and the bad doers, you got bad doing on your mind, you better be fearful, because she means what she said. Well, a respectful fear. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. All right, that is my brother Frank. Let's go to Ziff. Ziff, you're on the Talk Chicago 1690.
Hey, I missed you. I didn't see you, man. I saw. Good morning to both of y'all.
Good morning.
I saw The gentleman next to you. I can't pull it.
Todd Stroger?
Yeah. He made me wait an hour for his work.
Dang, Todd, you famous like that? You can't be making Ziff wait that long. You know Ziff is like world famous, dog. You know he's super world famous, right? I'm telling you, don't make Ziff wait. He'll put you on blast. He'll go outside your studio and have a showtime on you.
I was in a conversation, but I had to finally say, hey, wait a minute. All right, I see you standing there.
Let me tell you something serious. I want to be serious with you guys because I'm concerned about this. And Todd, tell us, the security who guards her, isn't that Chicago police? Because she hired an independent firm to guard her. She's the only mayor maid to wear an earpiece. I don't understand why that is. And then the next thing is, oh yes, my answer is yes, she needs to be concerned. Because I saw Lopez, I hung out with Todd when I left you at the thing, I hung out with Willie Wilson. He didn't come. His wife came in, his assistant, but he didn't come. He's very hurt about this thing, I'm telling you guys. But here's the thing.
Oh, you mean like he wanted to be on the stage and he wasn't invited?
No, like he would have been raised, he thought he should have raised his hand. He should have been raising his hand. To be the mayor.
I can see that.
You have to watch this. Lopez and what's the guy, Tony, Bill, can get his lady headaches, and here's my conclusion. The council wars are going to be fought in the legal department with all these law firms. It's going to make a lot of money because I did not like Richard Daley's position right over her shoulders. That's why who's behind the person. Thank you both.
All right, now I'm gonna tell you, Ziff. I am gonna say that we do have to pay attention to the people behind Lori Lightfoot because a lot of them do come from the Daley camp.
Well, you know, your security. Since they are police officers, I don't think that it's like, I'm not sure about it, but I don't think it's like a position that's not exempt. It could be. See, the sheriff made those positions, they were not exempt positions anymore. If you're in it, you can't be removed. But from the mayor's office, I thought the mayor got to pick whatever position he wanted.
First of all, I think that I don't know if she had private security. I mean, I think that the detail, I think once you become the mayor-elect, I think you get a detail. You get a detail all automatically. They may not be dressed as CPD. Hey, Ziff, she is not wearing an earpiece. She has a hearing aid.
Oh.
She wears a hearing aid. She's deaf in one ear. Her father lost his hearing at an early age, and she suffered from the same thing. Let's go to Karen. Sister Karen, you're on Talk Chicago 1690.
Well, good morning, you wonderful king.
Good morning!
Listen, I'm glad she did what she did. Because we got to understand what power is. Power is the ability to serve up consequences to those who cross you. That's what you did last night, sir. So I call to commend you, Maze Jackson, for doing a live Facebook to confront and conquer a disruptor. And even implementing yourself. See, we're not going to heal until we can tell the truth about everything. And even if we was involved in that everything, in order to come out. So I commend you today, sir, on the power that you displayed on live Facebook last night. And I'm asking that many of us just use these technology, use the new technology to expose what we all have been involved in some shape, form, or fashion. So you know what? Power is being implemented around the board. And remember this, it only takes a few good women to make a whole bunch of stuff happening. And you remember that phrase, remember that organization, a few good women. So today, the power goes to Maze Jackson for taking a stand against evil in a very humble and loving way. I love you, and I hope everybody in the listening audience patterns after what this gentleman is doing and so many other people are doing. Love you. Have a great day.
Love you back. Let's go to Anthony. Anthony on Talk Chicago 1690.
Good morning, Maze, Todd, King.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Anthony. I'm ready for you to drop it. Drop it, dog.
Well, you know when you talk about the aldermen that I always have to call it about that. And she was singling out the right ones, man. You sit back and you think about first. You sat up there and let Trump put an $800 million building downtown with very low to no tax. Okay? So that pay-to-play stuff, it should have been gone.
I'm going to tell you. And we don't even get none of that. We don't get none of that. None of it.
Okay, but we paying for it.
Lord, are we paying for it?
Okay, so, hey, and now all of a sudden they want to be legislators? Want to stand up and talk to somebody like they're somebody? What was that when Ron was doing his thing?
Anthony always be dropping it. I'm going to tell you, I thought you was going to hit her with the... I'm going to tell you why they fear Lori Lightfoot. I'm going to tell you why they really fear her. Because they know she got a straight line to the federal prosecutor. And so, if you don't get in line, she might be telling on you. Y'all, it's the Talk of Chicago, 1698. And when we come back, we are going to move on from the social media question of the day. And we are going to talk about Mayor Lightfoot, who's in, who's out. And then I want to talk about the Black Caucus. Because, guys, we still haven't heard from the Black Caucus. Now, they said that they would talk to us after Wednesday's meeting because they would organize. Who is going to lead the Black Caucus over these next 4 years? And what happens to the Black community in that process? We'll talk about it all when we come back to Talk Chicago 69.
Live from the WVON newsroom, here's
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Y'all didn't like my dancing? Can you feel it? Take a moment, share the broadcast. Hey, y'all gonna make Lori Lightfoot Daenerys Targaryen on y'all ass, and she gonna be running around here torching everything. Oh, Side don't know anything about that.
No.
Dracarius!
So, Mama D recorded. That old Game of Thrones. My son was talking about Game of Thrones today. I'm like, man, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but keep talking anyway. He is my son, so I'm gonna listen.
That's right. So when she does that, though, you gotta tell her, Carl, I'll do it. I'll take a call. It's gotta be 30 seconds. She'll be the one.
Yeah, we got an interesting situation.
This day, this is what happened. This is not a commentary.
And I do think that the mayor's gonna get her way in just about anything. I like this speech. She hit a lot of good points. I thought she really talked to the middle class and people who were making less than the middle class about, kind of keeping them here. Making the city more affordable for them and a little more loving. I think the biggest thing we have is middle class is moving out. People are taking their families and going south. We got a reverse migration. Trying to get fewer dollars out of their pocket. Then our dollars are more punishment. With tickets and fees for being in the pound, high cost of parking. Man, a regular person takes a beating. But I like it. I thought she was very positive. Even with her Game of Thrones kind of, I don't even have to see Game of Thrones, but she was kind of tough.
Dracarius!
Yeah, we'll see how that works though. Yeah, the mayor always can be tough. Because fear, I always say this, fear runs rampant through aldermen. They do not want to be on the wrong side.
Hey man, y'all better stick with the WVON morning show. Y'all tripping. What's going on?
Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
She's supposed to consolidate power. We're supposed to make sure she doesn't consolidate power. There should always be a healthy stress, a healthy tension.
Exactly. That's what.
Like, it shouldn't be everybody comes in the room that's like, oh, hunky-dory. That's hunky-dory is what y'all had on the WVON morning show and y'all got mad. Right? Like, hold on. See, like, hunky-dory means that everybody gets in and everybody's all good and everybody's great. And when you so hunky-dory, nobody calls out bullshit when they see it.
Yeah, that's like against the rules.
Right. It's like, it's supposed to be.
She wants to talk to you. She wants to do the African American history piece, but she also wants to talk to you about Stephanie Coleman, the new woman in. I think that she's in.
We're gonna talk about the Black Caucus, so we'll talk about it. I mean, then she.
That's why I was asking you. Do you want her to do two at once, or should just stick to this and call it a day?
Right.
Either or, right?
Right. It's
okay.
either or. But wait. If she's trying to talk about somebody, then she gotta wait. If she's not doing the Black History thing, then she has to wait because I gotta get to my point.
Absolutely. Okay.
Y'all take a moment, share the broadcast. So I don't like the concept of, like, I feel like I'm not for the whole bully concept in any way, shape, or form. I think there needs to be a healthy respect of both institutions, right? I feel like the alderman should be powerful enough to check the mayor, and the mayor should have enough relationships that she has to cajole and work and negotiate with them. I agree with you, Maisie. I think that people are so excited for change, but remember, again, you can be liberated.
Ooh, she mad at you.
Why?
She's like, she's not gonna do no more commentary because she can't do it for 30 seconds. She said she'll give this one to you, and that's it.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's like.
I said, Mama D, this is radio. I don't care about. I know how this works. I said, but you can't control somebody's show. He's giving you 30 seconds, and that's really all it takes. No, it doesn't. Okay.
Okay. Well, then we won't do it again. I'm sorry. It's like I approached you about. See, it's like that's the whole. That's the whole Oprah Winfrey. This dude, she done been giving. She been doing her thing. Now people used to be like, the other people used to be like, don't take the call. Right? So I say, I like what you're doing. Now you gonna punish me because I say, could you keep it short? But that is the billionaire giving money and now people snapping on Oprah when it wasn't nothing before.
Right.
Unbelievable. Bro, then you gotta turn channel. It's like you gotta behind the scenes. Look, this ain't the show. If you watching right now, you watching behind the scenes. That's part of what you watching for, right? You are tuned into the Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. We are going to go to Mama D for our Black History moment of the day. WVON family, go to line 1. Mama D, you're on the Talk Chicago with your Black History Month fact.
On May 21, 1951, Governor John M. Patterson dispersed the National Guard when several thousand white Negrophobic citizens threatened to set fire to the First Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama, with Reverend Dr. King and the freedom fighters inside of the church. However, on September 15, 1963, under the governorship of George Wallace, who took his oath of office saying, segregation now, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever, 4 little Negro black girls, ages 11 to 14, were killed when a bomb exploded during Sunday school at the Alabama. Many others were injured. I'm Mama D, a Crimes Against Humanity descendant, Jim Crow genocide survivor, and indigenous Native Black American.
That
you didn't know about May 21st. Now you do.
Now hold on. Now y'all put it back on hold. Hold on, Mama D, because I know you got a comment on our next question. So put it back on hold because I got to set it up. All right, y'all. It's the WVON Morning Show. We spent a little bit of time talking about should the city council fear Mayor Lightfoot. But now I want to move on to what's up with us. What's up with black folks? Todd, since this election, I have heard virtually nothing from the largest caucus in the city council. Now, if you are unclear about who I'm talking about the Chicago Aldermanic Black Caucus. Todd, right now, city council, if there was ever a time, first of all, let me back up, because if there was ever a time in Illinois where black people should be seizing power, contracts, business opportunities, to me it's right now. You got a black mayor. You got a majority in the city council. You got the largest caucus outside of the Democratic caucus down in Springfield. We got the most black elected officials in the entire country. We got the state's attorney. We got the attorney general. We got the county board president. We got the county board. Todd. And now we have a new mayor in which the white progressives are now saying that, what did Dick Simpson say? Dick Simpson said that the aldermen should have, what did she say? Some sort of fear. It was they should be reasonably frightened. So do black people should our caucus be reasonably frightened? And where does that leave us? Who will lead the black caucus? Because check this out, y'all. How would you grade black outcomes over the last 8 years under Rahm Emanuel, under the last 4 years? How would you grade them, Todd? Black outcomes.
Well,
from the city.
Well, I would have liked to have seen an economic project, a very sizable one on the south or the west side.
Man, we got all these neighborhood opportunity grants. What is wrong with you?
But I think in the aldermen's eyes, they feel like, all aldermen aren't the same. Like when you talk about 27, the ward has such a big area that is part of this new growth where people are moving in and building and all that kind of stuff. But once you go further west and you go further south, those are just our regular neighborhoods. And I think they needed something major down there, and they never got it. But I think the aldermen feel like they had a relationship with the mayor, and they could call him and talk about some of the things.
Bull crap. They could talk about. Hey, man, it's like,
well, not major things, but things like, look, man, I need to do some more
field houses,
streets, and maybe something at a park or.
They got all of that with Lincoln Yards. They got streets. They got parks. They got new infrastructure. They got all of that.
Maybe our eyesight is too small and we need to look bigger. But I think that's how the aldermen feel. They feel like they could call him and say, I need some money for this, and he'd help them get it.
Chump change. So he took.
Well, it definitely wasn't the kind of money they got at the Lincoln Yards.
Lincoln Yards or the 78.
Or 78.
Right.
No.
But, so Todd, I guess my question is, has the black community in Chicago suffered from a failure of leadership from the aldermanic perspective?
I think that our base has been deteriorating. We are not as learned as we used to be. There's not an emphasis on education and as many families as there used to be. So therefore, when you want to do something big, the people who have the most control and money come back and say, well, you don't have the skill set for that, so we're not putting that there. Or they can say, what is that when they say people steal too much? What do they call that? I forgot. They call it some kind of rate that they lose.
Oh, they're yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so they say it's too hard to do business here, or they say you are not buying enough high-end items, so we are going to move our store. So, my thing is, that this all starts at our education level, how much time we put into it, where we can make real money.
Todd, we have 20 black aldermen. Will black Chicagoans do better? Should we re-elect the same chairman of the Black Caucus?
I think
Should
we
there
put
be somebody?
too much into our elected officials. This is more about us now. How do we all get together and push more people to what will make them profitable?
All right, well, let's talk about it. Let's go to the phone lines. Mama D, you had something you wanted to say about this topic. You want to talk Chicago?
Yeah, I was there yesterday, and I think that the people are going to back up Lori, and they're not going to let these scared, intimidated aldermen be bullied and not using the power that they got in their hands, because others are telling them, oh, that's no good, throw that away. You don't need that time. Give it to me. I'll take care of it. It ain't nothing. And I don't think that's going to happen. And I know you saw Stephanie Coleman yesterday in that white dress. Why are you all so silent about that?
Wait a minute, I don't get it. What was so first of all, I couldn't see. I remember I was at Fox 32.
I saw
So
her.
I was not at I was broadcasting on Fox, so I couldn't see the alderman. Really, we focused on the mayor's speech. What was wrong? Stephanie is a fashionable girl. What's wrong with the dress?
Yeah, what was wrong with the dress?
That's what I'm saying. When she walked on that stage in that white dress with that with her mother with her white suit on, hey, the house went crazy. She was movie star.
Oh, now you know Stephanie Coleman. Now I'm gonna tell you what.
Styling and profiling, she got the movie star treatment when she walks up there.
I'm gonna
and one of those red carpets up there.
You got that right, Stephanie.
Very, very beautiful, and I congratulate her highly. But the people with those words, do not pass me by, and the song, make them hear you, it's on. Thanks, take my call.
Thank you, Sister Mama D. All right, let me go to the real Mike. Real Mike, should the Black Caucus should we get a new chairman of the Black Caucus? Who should lead us?
I think we need a new. Yeah, definitely yes. First of all, let me slow this down. And first, before I do anything, I want to send out a condolence to the Fields family.
Yes.
I've known Wayne Fields ever since he was a monarch over at Mendel Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that Wayne brought to WVON a whole different spirit as long as he was working there. I think he's one of the oldest employees working continuously with VON at that studio as we see it in the last, I would say, 20 years. So that's the first thing I want to say.
So look, let me pause you right there. Mike, stop right there. I got to go to traffic and weather. I'll pick you right back up where you left off when we come back. It's Talk Chicago 1690.
Men's Health Awareness Month. Fact that...
Yeah, Stephanie Coleman is a little fashion plate.
Yeah.
I think the only person that dresses better than Stephanie is Carrie.
Oh, you're talking about all elected officials out there.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I think that Stephanie does a really good job of being fashionable. It's going to be interesting to see how people take her. Only because she is so stylish. Like sometimes people hold that against you. Right?
Oh, yeah, right.
Right? Like people hold that against you. Now, but she does it she's tasteful. Like she's classically stylish. I'll give her that. She don't be doing like so yeah, I gotta get in. Stephanie is always together when I see her. So yeah. I ain't gonna lie though, she broke my damn toe one day. She stepped on my toe in a heel and she put the whole damn thing down and it was like, leave Jesus.
That sounds so painful.
My God, it was painful and she felt so bad and I was so mad. And it's like, you know how you mad at somebody who's nice?
Right.
And you be like, I'm so sorry. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay if you don't stop telling me sorry because my Shout out to my beautiful wife on her as she makes her way to Springfield. Hey, Springfield.
Don't you go to Springfield? I thought you said you just
Show
went to
some
Springfield.
love. Show some love. She went to Springfield on a solo journey. Now she's going to Springfield she's taking the board. She went down the last time to introduce herself
Oh, okay.
as the president, right? To go and shake hands, meet the leadership, all of that.
I carried a fair share of water reclamation bills. Boy, that was some hard stuff because Republicans are like, this is a Democratic stronghold. They never wanted to go with.
That's why they made it all
anything
civil
with
service.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, right. It's all civil service. And the Republicans were like, shoot, all you Democrats, man, we don't care what you guys do. We don't want to give you nothing. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I got a lot of government bills. Government bills are hard because Republicans.
Ain't nobody making no money.
That's right. There's no money. There's no incentive for people to vote to help out a government. Just like Republicans can't stand the establishment, newspapers can't stand establishment, and they want it to fail. So it was hard sometimes.
Dang, Maisie Harris said Mayor Daley and Mayor Manuel Mayor Daley rule with fear and intimidation over the alderman. Lori Lightfoot is coming in trying to do the same thing.
How did you like that though?
Huh?
How did you like that?
I didn't like it. What?
The previous mayors ruling by fear and intimidation. How'd that work for us?
Right. So I think that's something we got to say though. And to me, it's like you throw off an oppressor for another oppressor. It's like what we need to do is not be rooting against the alderman as much as saying, no, nigga, you need to be responsible to your community, and we'll stand by you. When you don't be, the fear and intimidation should be from the community, not the mayor. You need an alderman that's not scared of the mayor, so that when they need to fight for what you want in your ward, and the mayor say, hell no, they like, shit. You see that? You know them people over there? But they more scared of
this is the whole conversation. You hit it right on the head. And when all these people are talking, you just said what they all should know. It's not about the mayor running your ward. It's about them being able to advocate for you and not being fearful that the mayor can destroy them.
Right. Oh, you got it.
Georgia.
Headed for the Frisco Bay. I had nothing to live for. Look like nothing gonna come my way. So I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Woo! I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones. When I'm loneliness won't leave me alone. You are tuned into the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. We are, and my co-host, Ty Stroger. We're going to pick back up with Mike. Mike, give it to me in a minute, brother. Go ahead, Michael O'Connor, the real Mike O'Connor. What's up? We got you.
Okay, hey, you know what? It's going to be interesting to see, because of the appointment of Candace Moore. She's the attorney who made Ram and them sit down over them trying to take the National Teachers Academy from those young black excellent students. And I got a feeling that there's going to be a whole lot of changes. So, yeah, you know, Maze, Todd, I'm from the school of belief. My father taught me that just because you look like me does not necessarily mean you in my best interest. And clearly, after having these aldermen in office for as long as they've been in office, we have not benefited economically. I live in Brian Hopkins' ward, and I see on a first-hand basis what's happening in terms of gentrification and how it adversely affects people like me. So I really do. I look forward to sitting in the zoning committee meetings. I look forward to sitting in the finance committee meetings to actually see the changes or lack thereof. So as far as I'm concerned, I feel like you, Mays, we have to have a balance in terms of our either fear or our alignment with not only the mayor, but the aldermen, because I'm from the school of belief that what have you done for me lately? More black folks in this city need to be asking that question, and they need to be implementing any direct action to make sure that they get an answer. That's my comment for the day. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, the real Mike. Let's go to Mr. Hope. Mr. Hope, you want to talk Chicago?
Good morning, Mays.
Good morning.
You got it wrong. It's called the Black Caucus, not caucus. It's led by a person, Sawyer, on the serious side, who admitted that he read the last police contract but didn't interpret it. What good is an attorney that can read and can't interpret? My second grader can do a better job than that. Thank you. That's my comment.
Dang. Chris, you want to talk Chicago 1690? Chris, you want to talk Chicago 1690? Chris on the train.
How you doing? Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Good morning.
With my condolences to Wayne Field's family as well. I'm praying for them.
Thank you.
You know, I'm kind of like getting the Obama effect. The mayor, the aldermen, they should fear us. The aldermen.
Thank you.
Fear. They should be working together to make our communities better, and we have to make them do it, no matter who it is. And that's my comment.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Let's go to Mike and then Todd. I want you to go back to your point because I think you hit the point on the nail on the head when you said that. I think we need to be scared. That everybody should be scared of us. Forget the mayor. The mayor should be scared of us. But let's go to Mike. Mike, you're on Talk Chicago 1690.
Hey, man.
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, brother? Good morning, child.
Good morning.
Hey, you know what? The bottom line is it's incumbent upon the community.
Right.
We've got to provide the mayor with the reinforcement that she needs. We've got to direct these lackluster slave mentality aldermen that we still have. We've got to force them to do what they need to do. Now that's where the pressure on them has to come from, and then they'll free up the mayor to do exactly what we want her to do.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate your call. Todd, I think that I think everybody needs to be scared of us. I think the politicians have ruled the land of fear and intimidation for too long, and I think that the voters, people should be intimidated by the voters. I don't want my aldermen scared of the mayor. I want my aldermen scared of me.
Exactly. But that means that there has to be true participation. And you have to actually talk to the aldermen and go to meetings. You know what our meetings were for? And sometimes there'd be nothing going on. My dad said, we need to have a meeting. And one of the reasons for the meeting was to disseminate information. So he would talk about what was going on in the system, what was happening in the county, what he knew what was going to happen in the city. The alderman would really talk about what was happening in the city. The state rep or the state senator or both would talk about what was happening in the Senate. And it was a way to inform people because knowledge is power.
And I am telling you all that we got to be careful about, I think that you just got to be careful about taking the gun out of one person's hand and putting it into another one's. I remember when Rahm came in and he said what he was going to do, and people were jumping up and down and screaming about the reforms he was going to make, CPD, and guess what? Here we are 8 years later and people are ticked off. It's Talk Chicago 1690. We'll be back after traffic news and the weather.
The talk of Chicago and the voice.
I'm just saying, y'all remember when Rahm got sworn in the first 4 years and he was talking about taking on the teachers and taking on all that stuff. Everybody was clapping and cheering, and he was going to lead the reform and get us back together, and now y'all like, get y'all ass up out of here. Stop giving our power away. Let's keep the power in our community. Todd, you've got the kid.
Boy, I like to say those are words of wisdom. What's the use of having power if somebody else gets to use it, your power, without you giving it to them for your own benefit, of course. So why do you say, Madam Mayor, I want you to be able to do anything you want without any repercussions whatsoever? Now, don't get me wrong, I like the mayor. I think she made a lot of sense. I mean, I don't know much about it, but what I've learned in the last month, she sounds like she's got, and from her speech yesterday, she sounds like she's got her pulse on what some of the problems are. But to be able to make things happen, there has to be some mutual respect. And as Mays was saying, why would you want to take a Tommy gun and hand it to somebody else and say, okay, hold this gun on us and make us do whatever you want? There should be more of looking in the eye from each side, and that is how you get things to be done. If you don't have any power to make the mayor suffer if she doesn't work with you, then this is a one-sided affair and you can't get anything done. And she just becomes a dictator. And we could probably say that some of the earlier mayors were pretty much like dictators. And you know, as I was saying earlier, there's always been this thing that the black neighborhoods didn't have this, didn't have that, didn't have the other thing. But we got all kind of people in the black neighborhoods. I mean, we got poor people who live 5 minutes from millionaires. So we've got all this mismatch of education, wealth through our neighborhoods. But we need some big things. We need something to hold on to, something to grab onto and make it even better. And you don't get that by being just a pawn and a lackey. You get that by being an equal and saying, all right, this is what we got. Like the China Business Association, they wanted to build that mall that was built on 86 Cottage, but they didn't own the land, and the white guy was not going to let it do it. So
why y'all didn't annex it? I'm sorry, I'm stopping. Go ahead, I distract you.
Yeah, annexing is such an ugly thing. You can barely ever get to do that. But those guys are older now. I mean, now the guys who had those plans, they're all probably somewhere between 78 and 90 or something.
And somewhere still blocking the young guys from doing it. But go ahead.
No, they're not blocking the young guys. The young guys got to put their own thing together. That's not their job, is because they're still running their own businesses. Mm-hmm. They just don't have that group together. Well, I'm saying they don't have the energy to go out and do big things. The young guys, they should come to them for counsel. Like I go to Taylorite, and if I see Mr. Caldwell, I'm going to talk to him and find out what he knows, and he's going to tell me what's going on in the world, and he has no problems with that. So, if the young guys put a group together, I think the old heads will talk to them about how they can get it to work.
Can I tell you
but
what
you gotta talk to them.
You know what I think? I feel like the old guys that the old guys of prominence, we got to figure out the old guys that did local business. Because I don't think that the old guys that did local business, how you know Mr. Caldwell from Taylorite, like that's not somebody that we know. So we know, at least for me, the people that are business that I know are like the BLC type of business. And it seems to me that what their premise is anytime somebody is they think somebody's about to take off, then they come wrap their arms around you and bring you into this group that then forces you into this freaking kiss the mayor's ass funnel, as compared to like to Kiss Power's ass funnel. It's like they're not making decisions. They're making decisions to gain favor with the white people in power, instead of making decisions that force the white people to say, I gotta deal with them. And so
yes,
what you see is this organization that has been built to go along to get along is more about the pacification, and then they will throw contracts internally and everybody comes to them, and then it circulates in a closed network of, and then if you're a new guy that's not plugged into that network, then you don't really get access, and nobody's talking to the Mr. Caldwells of the world, because who knows where they are, right? Like, how do you go find the guy? Where do you find Mr. Barnes, right? Like, who even knows about like a Mr. Barnes?
Which Barnes you talking about?
I'm talking about Barnes that own all the lounges, the real estate guy, right?
Oh, I just saw his. Well, yeah.
But see, you know that, but nobody
But
like.
no, that's because I didn't know him before. I just met his. I guess this would be his son.
Okay, but Mr. Barnes is like the OG, right? On the bar side. And he got all these nightclubs, lounges, he doing stuff, but you don't know, how do you get Mr. Barnes, Mr. Caldwell, say a Spencer Leak Sr., right? And the premise to me is that everything
Those
is...
guys, as I see them, now I can't talk about all of them, but from what I see from some of the guys that I talk to, they are all, their ego would love it for somebody to come in and ask them what to do, because they've been through the block and they would love to pass it along.
The problem is, though, you don't know those people, right? I just named those three. You know who was good with that?
No, you're right.
Bill Garth was good at
Mr.
that.
Higginbottom, I would go talk to Mr. Higginbottom when because I tried to do a few business things myself. He would be my business guy. I'd go talk to him, and he'd sit down and he'd tell me what I think you should do.
Talking to Mr. H, but like, I love talking to Mr. H because he will bust your joint up and be like, make sure you're on the right page. But I'm saying,
he wouldn't feed you any BS.
He'd be like, no, and if you came to him and said, I need this much money, he'd be like, man, how am I gonna make my money back?
Right.
You be like, you got all the money in the world, you can just do it. No, you gotta show me a business plan. But how many people are H's, right? Like, to me, I believe that H is for much is given, much is required. So he does a lot. But I'm saying, like, but he also, besides Mr. H, I'm gonna tell you, most people be like, until you prove to them that they think you have stature, you can't just walk up. When you think you talking to Frank Clark? Never. Like, when you think you talking to Jim Reynolds? Never. When you think you talking to John Rogers? Never.
I had a hard time talking to Jim Reynolds, and he knew me.
Think about it, right? It's like, so they find all the new guys and get them in before they can build up and say, I'm not with this. Like, think about it. The BLC made all the black people go, all they people was supposed to be with Lori, even though Tony didn't do nothing for nobody. And all the young black business people are saying, really, y'all? But you don't want to be on the other side of the guys who get all of the stuff funneled in because you're trying to grow a business.
Right.
You are tuned in to Talk Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. But y'all know how we do at the top of the hour. Got to say what's up to the WVON Morning Show team. What's up to Annette Flournoy in the newsroom, as well as the Wonder Twins, Sonia Escobar and Sonia Tompkins. Ladies, Sonia, you all sent me some audio from Magic Johnson yesterday. Do you have it? So, Sonia, get Sonia the audio from the Magic Johnson story that Magic Johnson said he was sold out at work, because we are going to talk about sabotaged in success. White sabotage of black success in the workplace. Magic Johnson was the president of basketball operations for the Lakers. Owns half of Black America, multi-millionaire, successful businessman. And he was undermined by an employee. A white employee who wasn't even the president. And I want to talk about black success in the workplace. How you get to black success in the workplace with the white sabotage that happens. Like, are the rules different for black people getting success? And think about being the boss. Todd, I think you got a perfect example of this. Being the boss of an organization or a company as a black person in control and white folks undermining you in the workplace. Let's talk about it, but before, I'm going to let Sonia find that audio because Magic Johnson talked about that as the president of basketball operations. But before we do that, I want to go to the phone lines, and I'm going to take Millie's call. Millie, you on the Talk Chicago. Is this my Millie?
Yes, I feel that.
Is this Millie Boone?
Pardon me?
This is not Millie Boone, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, I thought it was. Okay, go ahead, Millie. You on the Talk Chicago.
We need to return to the family-type ward offices. During Mayor Washington's terms, he let us know that we didn't have to ring doorbells anymore, and that was one of the wrong things to do.
Yep.
Because we lost so much from not being with our ward officers, precinct captains, senior committees, and all the different other committees. I came up in a family. My father was secretary to Dawson years ago. And that ward office was like heaven. You know, I know Strozier should remember because he came up in a ward office.
Oh, yes.
And we've lost that. We've lost that. So that means we lost control of the alderman, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that's only it, but I am going to say that, you know, I think back to when I first got involved in politics and we used to go to the ward office. The ward office was cracking while it was open the whole time. You had every precinct captain coming in talking about, I got service requests. Don't come in the office if you ain't found out something that you could do to help people. Like you ain't coming, look, and everybody was running for their numbers. People were competing to see how many people they could turn out. It was contests amongst us to say, man, I could turn out more voters. You had
the young Democrats and all of this.
The young Democrats, the cookouts, remember the big picnic? Well, I don't want to call them picnic. The cookouts where you would go and your organization would get together. And it was a sense of family. And it also brought the community together.
It was family. It was family. Now you have a mayor that in her speech yesterday reminded me so much of that family type organization. And you, you have the, how can you say it? You have the position to bring a lot of us together.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Millie, thank you, first of all. Second of all, that is what I believe my mission is. That's why I need for you all to help me stay on my path. Because my goal is to bring us together and not to get off of that. When you hear me talk about 50 wards, 30 townships, and 50 volunteers for 4 hours, it's because I recognize the need for us to build that power base back up. You know, we talk about politics. Ty, you know, I think we look back at politics and have a nostalgia because it seems like it's become a dirty thing. Yes. But I think when I got into the game, I really felt like I had a path forward. I remember being a young Democrat, even though I didn't really want to be a young Democrat, but I was a young Democrat, and I remember the rivalries across the city that we had, but it was a friendly rivalry. I found my wife as a young Democrat. Mm-hmm. My current wife, that was 10 years later, but it seems to me that what we have done is we have given up our local control. Mayor Daley, when he destroyed the power of the committeemen, really, for all intents and purposes, busted up the last bit of fabric that wove us together politically. And as that political fabric unwound, then you started to see the civic unwind, you started to see the business unwind, because there was nobody in there actively fighting and protecting. And I am going to ask you, do you honestly think that it's a good thing for us to fear anybody? No. We should be the people that are feared. I just think we got it backwards. I think that we keep looking for a savior. And the fact of the matter is, It's not, we are the savior. We have to make everybody be like, I'm worried about what them people gonna do.
No, I think you're totally right. I used to say this for years, as everyone was looking for the next Harold Washington. It was like the Jewish people who were looking for the Messiah. The Messiah was actually supposed to come with a sword and run through everything and make things right. And we have always been looking for that person. But Millie's got it kind of right when she talks about Harold Washington. Harold Washington had to speak in two tones. He had to speak in a tone that would keep the progressive people in his camp, and with that, he talks about always destroying, the party way of doing things. But on the other hand, he was smart enough to know exactly what you're saying. So my father's job was to help the black wards organize, get people in the precincts, passing out information, working it. And that's what they were doing as they were trying to build something where black people could win elections in the future.
And now, that has all been, in my estimation, corrupted. I'm going to tell you that we are so politically unsophisticated now that we don't, like, Todd, I don't think anybody has been trained. You know, I go back to that thing last Friday, and I think about when that 10th district thing with the outbursts.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself about the fact that the party, the Cook County Democratic Party, did not have the wherewithal to control their own meeting. And two people were able to take it over. Imagine what happens when we got 50. You think if they were scared and intimidated for two people, imagine what happens when 50 black people that are informed know what happens and comes into the room.
Well, quickly, I was at a meeting when I was a Democratic committeeman, and one of the aldermen got up and said, alderman committeeman, well, she wasn't even an alderman, was she? Either way, she got up and she said that we should not endorse anybody. This is what they're talking about doing in the state. And I got up behind her and I was like, well, what do we have meetings for? Why are we here if we don't support somebody? What's the purpose? And she came from a pretty affluent ward. And that has been their thought, is that through disorganization, you get things done. But the only people who can get things done in disorganization are people with money.
I'm gonna tell you, we gotta put it together, y'all. And I'm saying that right now, while we have no defense, we cannot allow for another dictator to take place. All right, look, y'all, I want to talk about being black in the workplace. Sonya, I know I gotta go to break, but play this clip before we go, and then this Magic Johnson clip. And I want to talk about black people in the workplace being undermined by white folks, even their underlings. Go.
Does Magic Johnson feel betrayed, and if so, by whom?
You know, I think if you're going to talk betrayal, it's only with Rob. But again, I had to look inside myself, right? But I had been doing that for months because I didn't like that Tim Harris was too involved in basketball. He's supposed to run the Laker business, but he was trying to come over to our side. Jeannie's got to stop that, right? You got to stop people from having those voices, Molly, you talked about. It's too many people at the table. And so what happens, everybody gets to share their opinion, and it's so much information coming at her that then when I say, hey, we have to do this, she can't make a decision because they said, no, don't go the way Magic go, you should go left.
Other people already got to her, and they're not going to remind you.
So her love for those people and respect for those people often caused us to not make the right choice, or there's no decision, Max. And so I said, listen, you can't run a corporation like this. You can't have everybody think that they can have a voice or opinion about the final decision. That was supposed to be me as the president having that final say.
Y'all, we'll talk about it more when we come back. We'll talk about it when we come back. Magic Johnson, sabotaged at work by white underlings. Is that how it happens for us in the workplace? We'll talk about it.
More of the morning show with Blaze Jackson coming up.
That's what we used to say about the speaker. We'd say the speaker would have a meeting with the greater body, the Democratic caucus. And then he'd have a meeting with the members who were part of his leadership team, the assistant leaders. Then he had a meeting with Michael Madigan. And that meeting he had with Mike Madigan, that's when the decision was made of what was going to be done. And yeah, you really
Wait a minute, who had the meeting? Mike Madigan had the meeting with Mike Madigan?
Mike Madigan. And they made a decision.
And you niggas better get in line.
And I mean, there comes a point where you can only make a decision and you have to live by it. You can't live by other people's decisions. That's why, in the end, there's a lot of things that only one person can make a decision on. Now, there were other things where the caucus could make a decision, like, and say, this is what we want you to do, because we are his constituents. But there were other things where, he had the ability to say, yes, I'm going to do this, or no, I'm not. And that power was only given to him by the caucus. The caucus could always have overthrown him, and if he didn't do what they wanted. And one reason the state is like it is because they didn't, the rules, everything starts with the rules. So it started out with 60 votes could override the speaker. Now it probably takes like 71 votes, or 67 or something. The boss never wants the group to be able to tell them what to do. But if the group doesn't have that power to say, wait a minute, we are against this as a body, not just a few people, but as a majority of the group thinks that no, this is not how it should be, then you're not servicing yourself. You're literally just pawns for the guy at the top. And that's how. Now you don't want to be involved in everything, but there has to be some kind of balance. Balance is good.
Jumping hard, jumping as folks like me will job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, that's the way to make a living. I'm taking and no giving. Moves your mind, but never seems to spread it. Enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5. For service and devotion, you would think that I would deserve a fair promotion. Want to move ahead, but my boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that brought is out to get me now. What? Some shadow? There's a ladder.
Never
take it away. Should have come in and roll away. Working 9 to 5. That's the way to make a living. Taking and no giving. Lose your mind, but they never give you credit. I love to drive you crazy if you let it. You are tuned in to the Talk of Chicago 1690 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Hey, y'all. Them Dolly Parton songs get me, man. Take me way back.
Dolly Parton's a musical genius.
Dolly Parton's a musical genius. You remember she made the song before Whitney Houston, and Whitney Houston blew out the water with her own song.
No, but she wrote the song. That's what. So when Whitney Houston sang it,
she was like,
Dolly Parton got paid.
She was like, sing it again.
Yeah.
Sing it again, child. Sing it again. But we are talking, Todd, about Magic Johnson abruptly Magic Johnson left as the president of basketball operations for the Los Angeles Lakers. And people didn't understand it. And I'm going to tell you that when we heard the stories, they were saying how Magic was in over his head. He wasn't doing his job. He couldn't make the right decisions.
Man, that sounds very eerily similar.
Well, you know what? I was going to think about it, though. So, Todd, what happens when the black man takes over a job in a terrible situation? Does he get the chance to dig himself out of the hole? What happens when the white folks start second-guessing you in the job that you're elected to do?
Well, that's the problem. When you are in a situation where things are bad, do you have the ability to make the changes you want to make it better without someone constantly tearing down what you're trying to do? And it's very hard when you're a black person, because you don't have the you don't have that same, oh yeah, he would know what to do. You're thought of more as, oh man, he may screw this up.
It does. It seems like when they're dealing with black folks, they think that we're going to screw it up. So think about this, though. Magic Johnson, one of the greatest players ever. Very successful businessman. Gets LeBron James to come to the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, that happened under his tenure.
They did.
Got Lonzo Ball. The Lakers have not been a good team, and there haven't been team chemistry, but they were suffering from years and years of failure. Magic was there for, what was it, 2 years, 3 years? And he said he was
more like 2, huh?
2, because he said he was going to leave after 3 anyway, and he was going to groom the guy underneath him. But the white guy underneath him got impatient, and so he started undermining him. He started going into the chairman of the board's office and saying, hey, you know, the black guy's not really doing his job.
Going around him, yeah.
He started calling people in his background and saying, hey, man, you know, this black guy's not really doing a good job. And Magic had the luxury that most of us don't, which was, he was like, take this job and shove it. Yeah, right. I ain't working here. He was like, hey, man. He told him when he came in the door. Do you have that part? When he came in the door and he said, look, you know, I got business. I got multiple businesses. I'm going to be coming and going. I'm going to be the president of this, but I'm going to get that together. But you cool with that? Yes, Magic, yes, we are. And then as soon as things get a little bit crazy, then all the white folks who were supposed to report to him start undercutting him. And it so much so that he leaves. Todd, to me, this is the experience of black people in leadership and work. In leadership environments, and it's a challenge because I wonder, how do black people get ahead in the workplace? If you are a black person and because I was thinking about it, you know, I had a job, and when I had the job and I got promoted, because I've always been taught that no matter what job you do, if I worked at Burger King, I wanted to be the best Whopper maker or the best, and I always wanted to climb, so I would always wind up being a crew chief or a manager or something, and I would face double, and this is Burger King and McDonald's. Let me go to Burger King. I would have white folks that I've scheduled that would be telling me what they wasn't going to do, and would be going to tell the manager on me. And I'm like, you realize that I'm the second highest person in this Burger King. And
obviously not.
The manager is either going to take your word and not schedule you, but they would feel free to go. I would say, I need you to clean the floors. They were like, well, it's not my time. Why don't you have such and such do it? And I'll be like, because I told Joe to do it. But then the other part is when you go to the black folks and you trying to climb the ladder and do your job and do it to the best of your ability, then they say, hey, man, why you working so hard? Man, you messing it up for all of us. Bro. Why you over here doing that? Why you won't stop and they said you got time to lean, you got time to clean. You took that serious? Yeah, I'll clean. I'll do everything. Todd,
I know a person, when I was at school, there was a Popeyes down the street. He lived right next to me in the dorm. He quit school and worked at Popeyes, and you know, you go in there, he may sneak you a wing. He became the manager. Those wing days were over because he realized that he had to set the example for all the workers.
Man, and I remember learning what food cost was, right? Like, I remember when I worked at Burger King, my friends would come through the drive-thru, I'd toss them 5, 6 Whoppers, go ahead. And then when you become the manager, you start to recognize the cost. Like, okay, so I gave away 5 Whoppers in 1 hour, and then you multiply that out, and then you start to see the loss, etc. But Todd, talk to me about, how do black people succeed in a workplace how do black leaders succeed in a white workplace? How did you succeed?
Well, I could get things done, but you're totally correct. There was always somebody trying to undermine me while I was doing it. So the white guys, once they realized that they had the ear of the press, it just made it harder to do things. So I'll tell you why it was hard for me. It was because not only did they have the ear of the press was searching them out to find out for them to be combative with me. So the black guys got nothing from the press. No reporter ever asked them anything. Or the Hispanic guys. They never asked them one word. But the white guys they talked to. And it's very difficult when you're black because, as you know, if there's like one bad thing somebody says about you, that thing can stay with you for life. And when you're white, it's more of a, you might be able to you can get by this. But, you get any stigmatism against you, and black people join in it too, and you're through.
And
how do you climb out of it?
How do you climb out of it? So I just want to talk to y'all. Give us a call, 312-374-8130. Magic Johnson was the president of basketball operations. That means he was the second highest person in the organization, yet he was undercut by white guys in other departments that had nothing to do with basketball. When does a black person in power get to actually be in power without somebody trying to, you know what I'm saying like you were given this job?
They gave unrealistic
expectations.
Yes, just because LeBron's there doesn't mean that you're going to be in the championship the next year.
Right, you got that right. Look, y'all, we're going to talk about it. Have you ever been undercut in the workplace by white folks on your path to success? How have you dealt with it? Has that ever happened to you? How are you successful? How do black successful people make it? Because it seems in the workplace. Because it seems like if you get too successful, then the next thing you know, somebody won't call you a sellout because you was working in your workplace and you do better for your family. How do you balance all of that?
That's hard.
Let's talk about it when we come back. Let's talk Chicago 1690.
You're absolutely right. One of the hardest things is battling people who look like you and may even live down the street from you, as they call you a sellout, or as we've heard this term, handkerchief head, and Uncle Tom, and you ain't doing anything for us. Where it's hard. I mean, there's going to be people who support you, but there's always going to be groups, or it seems like there are groups, who are like, you're never doing enough for us. And I've had that dealing with Sonya. No, just kidding.
What? You had that dealing with me?
No. Kudos to Sonya. She invited me up to the booth. I didn't even know the booth was there until she said, "Come on up."
Are you on?
Yeah.
You can see.
We had a seat, but we can't see you.
Why you can't see me? What the hell?
Well, there you go.
Oh. Jeez.
Yeah. We just not in the right spot.
Okay, whatever. So we had a suite. We didn't have a booth.
Yeah, that's true. That's what it was. It was a suite. Yeah, it was sweet. Yeah. And Sonya made me work more. It was awful. At least they had water.
That's all we had was water. We should have had some panwitches.
Who does that one?
Panwitches. The young lady who bought us those sandwiches.
Oh, okay. She did the food for the What's in it for the black people event too.
Oh my gosh, that stuff was so good. We got to get her to come back. I don't know when. But got to get her to come back because that is her food. Her sandwiches are so good. Yes. So yes, yesterday was awesome. What did you think about seeing Ken Duncan there?
Oh, I was surprised. I was like, hey, what's Ken doing here? But
Ken was there. Ken was just cheering
Ken always
on.
has he has the bug. He always wants to be in government.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. He'd have to find somebody who would, knight him and say, like, somebody would have to be somebody powerful, like the mayor, really.
Okay.
Who would have to say, "You are forgiven, son," and he could get back and do something.
Okay.
But other than that, he's going to have a hard time because he's got this stigmatism on him that, he worked with the devil.
Oh wow. Yeah, well, that's the truth. It is what it is. But Todd just happened to see him downstairs.
Or President Trump can appoint him or something.
Oh my goodness.
He did go to the White House, though.
He did?
You remember President Trump invited all these black people to the White House?
Ken was part of that group. Didn't know that.
Sonia,
Did all the?
I'm leaving my stuff here,
And
then I'm gonna come back.
Okay.
And get it.
All right.
All righty. Good night, folks.
Yes, it was. Same here.
How much time I got? Wait, is Annette doing the news?
No, he just needs to know how much time we
No, she's not talking.
got. 2 minutes.
You're on. So Todd, I'm gonna do this read and then I'm gonna get out of here.
Okay. So we're at the inauguration for Obama, and my daughter, who's like 6 or something, is she's in Charlie Rangel's office with my sister-in-law, and this guy is talking to her, and my sister-in-law, who was that guy talking to my niece? You know, they leave and kind of, she said, that was Dougie Fresh. Yeah, because those New York guys, they were tight with Rangel. Where are you going?
Chicago Realtors.
Oh, right, the real. Over at that joint?
Michigan. Yeah.
I took the class there. Never did take the test. I need to take the test. Just put some time and effort in it. Maybe I can sell you a castle one day.
Shoot. My wife probably will sell it to us.
Is she a realtor?
Yeah.
Oh, Sonya just mentioned it. Ken Duncan came up to our suite. Like, Ken, what you doing? But he was with DC.
That's it's funny to me. He was at Walt's thing yesterday too.
Oh, well then, and after, I forgot about those things. I didn't even think about that.
Smartest one was Patrick Thompson, who did his across the street.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. I bet you Howard and the group got together. I just forgot about that kind of stuff.
Todd. Hey, how we gonna have a firm and you ruining all you forgetting your contacts, man? That's what the clients will pay. Clients will pay us for that. You supposed to take clients to that?
To those events?
Oh, love you. It's the dream come true.
Did you want an inaugural program?
Huh?
Did you want an inaugural program?
Oh, I got it. Thank you, though. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Do 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 do. No one else can make me feel the colors that you bring.
Stay with me while we grow old and we will live
Each day in the springtime, loving you. It's made my life so beautiful. Every day of my life is filled with loving you. Loving you. And every time that we, ooh, I'm more in love with you. La 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 la, 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 and doom doom doo doo. All right, y'all. It's the WVON Morning Show. And did you know May is Health Awareness Month? And did you know getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night? Make sure that your children get more based on their age. This healthy tip is brought to you by Resurrection University. See what ResU can do for you. Start your career now at Resurrection University. Hey, y'all. This is the WVON Morning Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson.
My children sleep like vampires. They have no problem.
I am.
It's
and
me that has a problem.
And that voice you hear in the background is my co-host, Todd Stroger. Now, Todd, I am going to turn the microphone over to you because I am going
Mic check,
to...
mic check. 1, 2.
Is this thing working? Is this thing working? I'm going to turn the mic over to you because I am going to head over to our good friend Chris Anderson's forum today on the new mayor of Chicago with the Chicago...
was somebody... I gave Chris Anderson a General Assembly scholarship.
You gave him a... See, I needed one of
do
those.
that kind of stuff.
You paid for his college education, huh?
Yeah.
I needed a General Assembly scholarship, but they didn't give it to me. But I'm going to tell y'all, to see again...
Right. Your brain was very big.
I got the 4-year academic. You know that's what we do in Bolingbrook. But check this out. I have to head over to the Chicago Realtors Association for their mayoral panel. So I'm going to head out of here, Todd. I'm going to turn the mic over to you. I'm going to jump in an Uber and go on over there. Shout out to everybody at Chicago Realtors. Congratulations to all of the aldermen who were sworn in yesterday. Congratulations to Mayor Lightfoot. Y'all, let's keep Insane Wayne and their family in our prayers. But again, I want y'all to make sure we put out positive vibes. Todd, you hold it down while I'm gone?
I can hold it down. I remember a little bit. And besides that, I got the Wonder Twins.
All right, you got the Wonder Twins. And so, okay, y'all, we are talking about Magic Johnson, black folks getting undercut in the workplace. And Todd, I think that's something you know about, so I'm going to let you continue. It's Talk Chicago. It's your man, Mace Jackson. Peace.
All right. Yeah, one of the problems with being a black man is that, as we see...
Or woman.
Or woman, but yeah, woman too, because hey, we just saw this lady get shot because she had a taser and a police officer felt threatened. So we know that the majority still looks at